Hey, what's up? This is Kel Mitchell, and you're tuned in to SUAVV Sessions. Yeah.
You started acting at what age?
Okay. Let me see. I started acting, I want to say had to be like 12 years old, 12 or 13, but it was just for theater. It wasn't like, to get on TV or anything like that. My parents, they tried everything as far as like good hobbies and positive hobbies for me to have. So I did everything. I did like Boy Scouts and, all Kung Fu, Taekwondo, all that stuff, but music, but what stuck was theater. They sent me to a summer camp for a theater that was in our community. And I fell in love with the art of acting. And then I started doing plays there and ended up getting a job at the theater doing a show there for about 2 months, and then I would go from show to show. And so it was just awesome. Doing that at a young age. Yeah.
So to be able to do it for decades, I'm giving you, I'm gonna say at least 20 years. I know it's a little bit more than that, but I don't want to age either one of us too far. So to be in the industry that long, what was that like as a kid going into just the magnitude of Disney or Nickelodeon rather?
By the time I got on television, I was 15, when I got on television. And so that was two different dynamics as far as like theater and, still going to school and, doing theater plays at night. I wasn't a class clown in school as much anymore because it was like, it was like, hey, you still want to do this. You got to pay attention if you want to have this as a job. And then, going on auditions from doing theater in Chicago and then going to like all types of auditions, and my parents taking me auditions, winning some, losing some. But then getting on television, that was definitely a different dynamic. That was like, whoa, that was an adventure, just even from the audition process. I remember I was in high school at the time and I had finals and I went to audition, for this show. And I thought I didn't get it because I actually messed up in the audition. I actually knocked over some camera cords, forgot my monologue, all this stuff. But I redeemed myself in it because they said, can you do any impersonations? And I did Ed in there. I did Coach Cretin in there. I did a whole bunch of characters within there. And then I didn't hear anything for about, I want to say a week, even after I got like a standing ovation at the audition. But I didn't hear anything for a week. And then all of a sudden I got, my mom got a call as we were all going to bed. And she was like, what? You want to do what? A second audition, Los Angeles. Hey. So went to go do the next audition. Had to go up against every funny kid. It was like the Avengers, you know what I mean, of funny children, were teens, and ended up getting the part, man. So that was definitely different than had to fly to Florida. My mom was pregnant with my youngest sister, and yeah, man, it was definitely a change for us, but we made it happen. For me, you're saying how did it change for me into adulthood? You're adulting within the spotlight, you know what I mean? At this point, you're navigating, different relationships, seeing if, someone is hanging out with you because they enjoy the show, or do they really hang out just because it's you, you know what I mean? And they love the person that you are. So that was very hard to navigate through that. I've a lot of things that I found out through people if that were kind of, toxic in relationships, as you're adulting within life, and you're like, dang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot to juggle at a young age. But Yeah, I think it's just, that's with anything, within life, within everyone's journey. Everybody's journey is different, and how we view the world is different for everyone. So it's just definitely making the right choices. And if you
Yeah.
do make a mistake, learn from those mistakes and keep pushing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And now you're a youth pastor.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, how much of your experience allows you to kind of guide kids in like the right direction to give them that same thing? Because we live in a different kind of world now where everyone is in the spotlight all the time.
Yeah.
So being able to have that experience, how do you kind of help kids navigate through like childhood going into adulthood?
Yeah, being transparent and being real. You know what I mean? That is the realist, the main thing, and understanding that what they're going through, how social media works and how they, because back in the day you could be bullied or something could happen and it's only in your neighborhood, only in your class, but now millions of
Right.
people can see it, millions of people can see that. So it's very important that we talk to them about making the right choices. We talk to them about love. We talk to them about forgiving yourself and forgiving others. We talk to them about boundaries. You know what I mean? Certain boundaries that do have to happen within your life, that are positive boundaries. You don't just allow everything around you. You don't have to respond to everything. And you don't have to respond in emotion as well. Take some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take some
Yeah.
time before you just respond. We live in a world now where everything is like a microwave. I want it right now. You know what I mean? You can ask Siri anything, or you could ask and it'll answer. But now we really have to just have, take our time to find rest and just really be like, okay, let me take a second before I respond. Or let me just take a second to get my mind right before I just do something that I didn't want to do or say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. And I talk to them about that a lot. And I talk about the grace of God a lot that helps them with that. And I even tell them about finding rest from all of the noise, because even, Jesus did that. A lot of times he stepped away and he went to
Yeah.
go pray. You know what I mean? And the disciples was like, no, but we're supposed to be doing this thing. He's like, no, I need to go spend time with God. And a lot of us need to be doing that. So if it was good enough for Christ to be able to do that, we need to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you always been like a church kid? Did you grow up in church? Was that something that happened later in life?
Yeah, my father, my grandfather was a pastor, and so
Okay.
I did grow up in church. But there's a difference between knowing Christ and having a relationship with Christ, meaning that you're putting him in everything that you do. It took me a long time to insert him in everything in my life. After I bumped my head, got through a lot of different obstacles, learning. But that was a part of my journey. As I look at it, I go, hey, I learned a lot through my ups and downs, and I learned a lot through with my faith and being persistent and having the endurance to get through certain things in my life that I might have made happen because of my choices or the people that I was around. You always have to kind of like search your heart and really go, hey Lord, what is not of you? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
what you know what I mean? And that's very important. And so when I started to do that and really just doing an assessment on me and my mindset every day, that's when things really started to change around. And it's an everyday thing. You know what I mean? It's an everyday thing. We all need to prepare mentally, spiritually, and physically for each day. And that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you got into books. How did that happen? That's not typically what we see from an actor. How did you get into being an author?
Man, listen, I love to write. A lot of different things in my career has taken me on different paths within my journey. I'm really just allowing God to just take me on an adventure. I remember when I was acting and the acting roles weren't coming in as much. Then the Lord said, hey, you know what you should do? You should write. they're not giving you the roles that you want, you should write. And so I started doing that. I was putting out my own DVDs and in the early 2000s, and I was putting out movies and stuff like that. I had something called Kel Videos Live, where it was just like me making fun of different artists, kind of like Weird Al Yankovic. So I was doing that. And then also too, I did a lot of independent work. I put out a film with me and Cedric the Entertainer. So I was a writer. And then also too, directing was birthed out of that too. I started directing music videos. I've done music videos for a lot of some CHH artists, and I've done some shorts and things like that, movies. Wow. So that was fun for me on an independent level, which was great because I got to see the other side of production, meaning, you know, management. I was a stage manager at my church. You know, I did the voice, the announcements at the church, you know what I mean? So just every facet of entertainment, and then also every facet of, hey, if I want to try this job, or I want to see where this takes me, take a leap of faith and go after it. So with being an author, with my first book, Blessed Mode, that was a mission of mine. You know, that was a mission where I wanted to let people know, like what you asked me earlier. I wanted to let people know how I got through a lot of the things in my life. And I said devotionals really helped me through that. Prayer helped me through that. I had an evangelist that prayed with me every day, which was awesome to get me kind of prepared for my day, and at the end of the day to let go of certain things. And I was like, yo, I would be doing my fans a disservice. I would do my family and friends and cousins a disservice if I didn't show them how I got through. So that's why I decided to do Blessed Mode, and that sparked the author within me. And then with Prank Day, I love stories. I write scripts as well, but I love stories that you don't know what the ending is going to be. It takes you on a journey. Right. It's action packed. Prank Day is like that. I wanted to do a novel for tweens that is like that. And yeah, man, it's awesome to see it come together. It was a great process of writing it. And you'll see a lot of me in there. You see a lot of young Kell in there. And there's some great messages within the story as well. So this is going to be, you're going to see more stories coming from me as well in the book world. Yeah.
Nice.
Chase took a step away from the window, but a movement caught his eye. Down below, something was sprinting across the parking lot. Something big and blocky and white. Something big and blocky and white and wearing sneakers and also a sweatband. Chase cleared his throat. There's a refrigerator jogging around down there. April Fool's was yesterday, one of the kids said. Yeah, good try, Chase. The teacher crossed to the window, looked down, and let out a yelp. Class dismissed! What? All the kids jumped up and ran to the window. The teacher was already headed out the door. I'm gonna get a video of this. I'll make enough money to never teach again. I'm gonna be rich. I guess we can go home then, one student said. Chase continued to stare out the window. The apple, Fluffy, the refrigerator. What was happening?
What do you have coming next? Because I hate to try to not to overshadow like Prank Day, because that's a huge deal. I love the fact that you have something for kids. What's next for you? Like, what do you ultimately want?
Yeah, ultimately want is whatever God wants. And I know that's deep, but when you say that though, he knows our future, right? So if he knows our future and he knows what's up next, I don't have any anxiety or like, oh, what am I going to do next? I just really have an idea that I know he gave me. And then I go, you know what? Let me make that happen, right. And then it's manifested. And so, but next up, as far as career-wise, I have a Christmas movie that's coming out. So I had to come and see you again when we do that big announcement.
Definitely.
Which we're super, super excited about, man. And I got more merch for Prank Day. We're actually starting some merch with fashion as well. I'm into fitness, so I'm doing some fitness with a clothing line that I'm doing as well. So you'll be able to see that soon.
Nice.
And I know this magazine is about half fashion, and it evolved as well. So I'm into fashion like crazy. So yeah, man, a lot of great stuff coming up that I'm super excited about. And yeah, just keep going.